I'd like to call to order this regular meeting of the Lenox Township Board of Trustees, November 3rd, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No one.
Approval of meeting agenda.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Clerk Groves, supported by Trustee Marino. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Moving on to item number 4, approval of minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting on October 6th, 2025.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Clerk Groves, supported by Trustee Marino. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Public announcements.
I just-
Community hearing?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody on November 21st, the community dinner that's held at New Haven High School is from 6 to 8. All the proceeds go to the food pantry to help people in need. Hopefully we can get a lot to get them through the winter season. And everybody comes, they donate either a paper product is what they're really in need of, like toilet paper and personal hygienes like soap and dish soap. But they will accept canned goods too. And come have a good meal. Come and sit and talk with neighbors or people in the community, and it's a great event and for a great cause.
When is it?
November 21st from 6 to 8 p.m. at the New Haven High School in the cafeteria in the back.
Alrighty. Moving on to public comment. Anyone wishing to go have any public comment, please move up to the podium. State your name, address. You do have a 3-minute limit. Oh, gotta press the button.
Good evening. My name is Mary Medouse, and I am proud to serve as Head of Human Resources for Lenox Township. I want to just take a moment to express how truly grateful I am to work for this township and to collaborate daily with 3 of our dedicated board members. Each of them consistently go above and beyond, ensuring that all work is completely, thoroughly, and they're seeking ways to improve their knowledge of daily operations and remaining available and accessible to our residents every day. This commitment sets Lenox Township apart, especially when compared to some of our neighboring communities where officials seldom are even in the office. As the HR director, I also hear and understand the concerns of our employees. Many of our staff members have young families, and during the Christmas season, they face a difficult decision either to use their vacation time, to be home with their children, or juggle child care and additional expenses to report to work. For many years, the practice of closing between Christmas and New Year's has worked smoothly and allowed everyone the chance to rest, recharge, and spend meaningful time with their families. Also, please keep in mind that the approved budget as of July 1st already includes 52 weeks of pay, meaning no additional financial impact will result from approving these 2 days off. Thank you for your understanding and support.
Public comment.
Hello, my name is Linda Rowe, and I'm the administrative assistant for the clerk's office here at Lenox Township. I want to take a moment to express how deeply I appreciate our elected officials and all they do for the residents and employees in our township. It's clearly that they truly have the best interest of Lenox Township at heart. Too often it seems like criticism takes center stage. While praise and recognition don't get the attention they deserve, I want to change that by giving credit where it's due. Anthony, Jennifer, and Michelle. You are three individuals who continually work and make Lenox Township a better place, and your dedication does not go unnoticed. Just look at what we've accomplished. Our senior community center is thriving and nearly self-sustaining. Pickleball has become huge and it is used daily. The soccer fields are full all season long. Even our walking track has become a favorite place for our residents to enjoy. There are real visible examples of progress and community spirit that you have helped make possible. So please keep your head up high and continue to do great work that you do each day. Your commitment and leadership are what make Lenox Township such a wonderful place to work and live. Thank you.
Public comment. All right, seeing none, moving on to the consent agenda. All items listed on this consent agenda are considered routine by the Township Board and will be enacted by one motion. According to established Township meeting rules, there will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the Board or public so requests after prior to the meeting. In which event, the chair of the meeting may remove such items from the consent agenda for discussion and consideration under agenda item number 8 below. Approval of the consent agenda shall be by majority roll call vote, those present and voting.
With that, the order and bills for the month of October total the amount of $595,626.07.
I motion to approve the bills list at $595,626.07.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Sutherland, supported by Trustee Rosio. May the Deputy Clerk please call the roll.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Rossio,
Aye.
Marino,
Aye.
Reader,
Aye.
Gurley.
Aye.
All right, moving down to 9 unfinished business. Item A, Township sign proposal. Mr. Grable.
Good evening. Good evening. There we go. Let's try that. Good evening, Board. This evening, we finally are bringing forward some information to the Board and the entire group in order to be able to see that we've worked hard at putting together a complete breakout for a sign for the front of our facility. Now, we've pulled this back a number of times to reconsider and also take in all the items concluded. Within the board packet, you're going to see 2 sheets that were actually within that packet. If you guys reviewed the packet and seen them, there's 2 sheets. Inside that packet, there's 2 that also have the pink highlight to them. The pink highlight is being removed from the recommendations for consideration, as they did not hit the targets that were requested in the RFP that was put together. It's very clear if you read through the RFP, all the required items for the entrance side, for the replacement signs, for the new park going in, and our pickleball area, and the sign that's in the back section of the building. This took quite a while to have all the quotes put together. As you'll see when you go through this, we have Johnson Sign Control. Just a summary, some of it is a 3-year full coverage for the construction and process. Phillips Sign is a 5-year construction and a year lighting process. Sign Fabricators has a 3 full-year coverage also. And Signs by Tomorrow has a 2-year full coverage. Out of all of them that were sent out, we got 6 of them back, 2 of them were removed, which leaves 4 for the board to make a decision on. And those 4, of course, are Johnson Control, in no particular order, Phillips, Sign Fabricators, and Signs by Tomorrow. Now, in order to hit all of these items, there was a requirement in the RFP as you look forward of what was remanded to be put in there. We've put this forward and brought it forward to the board to review for consideration. We've also added a number of opportune photos so you can see the difference in resolution and what it means when you look at the 68,000 10 millimeter or 82,000 6 millimeter, 113,000 10 millimeter. There's a variation, and we tried to do our very best so that we could show clearly what these signs would look like out front, because it's very hard to visualize all of these items as you're going through it. I do wish that we had overhead opportunity and projector for the township residents to be able to see as you're going through these. There are a number of different designs and processes. One of them done by Johnson Sign was actually very unique, and it formulated itself right into the building design. There was also the additional updates. You'll see the proposal and the pricing for each one of these put together as Johnson Sign controls total for all the items required had an $82,700 bill. On the main entrance sign. Secondary signs had, with a 10 millimeter, was 68,000. And then the park signage was at 24,983. So I implore you to go through and take a look at each and every one of these. Hopefully you guys have had an opportunity. I'm assuming more than likely, as I have not received any calls, questions, or comments about this, more than likely I'm going to assume no one's prepared and more than likely will be tabled. But there are a lot of great opportunities, signs that are put together. Phillips has some very unique signage, has natural stone to it. As you see, each one of the breakouts has the cost factor to every one of them in there. It also gives you an idea of what they're going to look like again. Signs by Tomorrow has a main monument sign to it. All the breakouts and pricing is included in there. And sign fabricators, each one we've put together their proposal. Once again, this was a natural stone item that was put together. So this is a nice unit with a large screen to it for the street. Now you have to be very considerate. How fast are they going to be able to read something doing 55 to 60 miles an hour? What are you putting on? So your resolution is your key item. How clear is it that they can see? So with that, I'll bring it back to the questions, comments, or consideration for additional pending review time.
I've just got 3 questions. First question is, who's going to be responsible for the content of this sign?
Content?
Yeah, who's going to?
Who puts what on there? That's handled by the township itself. I mean, of course, it's going to be restricted like it normally would be. It's a government sign, so you can only put up items pursuant to the township. You're going to have
who's
either,
going to be responsible?
well, right now,
the responsible party.
the supervisor's office has control of the park and rec area right now. So usually what happens is if somebody wants something put on that, it's sent to the office and it's added to that area as long as it's within the guidelines of normalcy. I mean, you're not going to put up crazy stuff, but you know, out front, on the front billboard sign, you would typically have elections, November 4th. Park and Rec, community center, community event meals, all the items pursuant and normal to the activity of the township. But it would go through the supervisor's office to be verified so that it's clean and within reasonable content.
Okay, so the supervisor's office.
At this point in time,
would be
unless the
taking care
board,
of content. Next question, has anybody researched any marketing companies that may want to do this sign and for time on the sign? In other words, we would be selling them a certain amount of time on the sign, they would be responsible for building the sign.
and you'd
To
also
our
be
specifications.
selling the rights of what they put on there.
Yeah, so,
There could be
I know
some
what,
restrictions set to that.
yeah, so what you're referring to, Chesterfield Township just went through this actually. And they brought this up in one of their meetings. They are not allowed to control any, if someone wants to put an advertisement on there, on the billboard they have on Hall Road, they cannot control the content. Even though it's built on township land.
Okay, I did some research in the city of Detroit, and in the former Cobo Hall, they're putting 25 of these huge billboard signs, message signs. And there's one company taking responsibility for all of it, and the city of Detroit put in their own stipulations as to what content could be in there, such as no political advertisements, no X-rated advertisements naturally. They have several things that they put on there.
I just personally, based upon going through this, Trustee Marino, I would highly recommend avoiding any third-party opportunities. We all know how the city of Detroit winds up over the years. Something will go sideways somewhere. I would just highly recommend to the board to stay away from third-party interventions at this point. It's
Next
a-
question, I'm assuming these signs are electric. How
That
are
is
we
correct.
getting the electric to these signs? Because it's not in the proposal.
That's part of, if you look at these, there are some of them that have the full in there.
None of the ones that were recommended do.
They have a cost factor in there. If you look at some of them, I believe Mr. Gurley pulled those through. Hang on. Because I know that the ground sign electricity was on the neighborhood of anywhere from $8,400 to $12,000. Now, the recommendation was to pull the metered power directly from Gratiot with a separate meter to come off of the main trunk. And DTE's recommendation was that was going to be the cheapest way. Now, that would have the third-party contractor,
And what was that quote?
I'm sorry,
What was the quote from DTE?
DTE will not
Supply
give,
meter?
DTE didn't give a quote.
Okay. Personally, I would like to see a complete proposal, and leaving nothing at all to speculation of the amounts that we're going to spend. Thank you.
The four proposals that you mentioned, the Phillips sign was one of them. If you look on the second page, final electrical connection to be completed on time and material basis. So it's my understanding they didn't give a price or a quote on putting the sign.
No, they, like I said, some of them came back and said they would have to get the final from those, and that's why, yes, we understand there's a separate electrical cost.
Okay.
There is, and this has been the battle for years, even when the former trustee took 7 years to look at this, trying to figure it out. They never were able to get the electrical locked in and tied in because it's a DTE tie.
We're not referring to bringing it to the ground, we're referring to bringing it, or they're referring to bringing it from the post to the sign.
Their recommendation is to bring it down the pole, bring it underground to the pole, or to the monument sign,
Correct.
because all of these are monuments.
But Phillips didn't say that. When I read it anyway, sign fabricators, full installation other than done by others. And then the one that did talk about doing it that I thought had their bases covered, but then when you read, they were charging for permits, which that I know we don't have to pay.
Correct.
Their bid left it open, according to if concrete went up, they would charge you more, and if the wire went up, it was an estimate, not.
They had a moving scale, and the problem is when they actually did that, Mr. Esio, is because they know that nobody moves quickly on these recommendations. So they look at this and say, look, if our cost is going to change in material, you know, this evening we have Motor City Electric with us. We could actually have them, but we have not been able to get anyone to come in. We've called 7 different companies to come in and give us strictly the cost from the pole to a sign. They want the sign in place before they'll give us a bid.
Well,
We have had the calls numerous times. You can make fun and make faces. You're not the one sitting here with the staff members working on it.
Mark,
I do every day. Respectfully, Mr. Marino, I'm not going to discuss this.
when you have a plan, it would be right there on the plan, right there on the drawings, where the electrical is gonna go.
And they said, once this is done and approved, they will give us a bid. I'm sure we have several companies that will come in and do it and give us a bid once we have picked a
How can we
drawing.
approve it without knowing exactly how much we're going to be paying for it?
You can pick a drawing so that we have 1, 2, and 3, and then we can go forward and ask those companies to come back and rebid the electrical.
So is that what you're asking for, is you're asking for us to pick a
If that's what you,
style of a sign right
if that's
now?
what you'd prefer, that's correct. We have spent the time to put this together so that you guys have several of these to look at, pick something, pick
So
one,
if we pick
pick
a
2, pick
style right
3.
now, we're not accepting the quotes or anything.
However you
If we
make
pick a
the
style
motion.
right now, okay, they will come back and tell us,
Then we can go back and get them, here's the monument sign that we've chosen. This is what we're looking for. We need a final quote. Now, if I have that monument sign in my hands, I can go down the street to Motor City, I can go to whoever it is and say, I need power brought down from DTE to this sign. Give me a quote. It needs to be 120, 220, 240, whatever the sign requires. I'm not an electrician, I'm not a specialist at that. But we can go back and get them to give us the signs.
quite a few of the manufacturers are calling for 320 amp circuits.
Correct. So that goes back to a power facility, like Motor City says, hey, this is what we need. Can you give us a quote? They need to know the monument sign so that they can specifically draw that in, how far it comes over, where the length is. Is it 300 feet underground? Is it 400 feet? Is it wrapped cable? Is it shielded copper? I don't know. These are the different things that they talk about. So they told us pretty much, hey, when you pick out a sign, we can give you a much better pricing of exactly what it's going to cost you to put it through. So we pick out a recommendation. We then get the quotes from the electrical companies that can actually do the work, because none of these guys will pull the power. As you've seen in there, they are all requesting certain power to be pulled to them. None of them want to pull the power. None of them want to hire a third party. None of them want to get up off their keister and do the job.
Do we have a print on for that power yet?
Do we have what?
A print? In other words, how far
How
is
can
it,
I do a print until you guys come up with something?
how far is it going under the ground? How far away from the road is the sign? Where is the location of the upleads for the conduit that's going to feed this sign?
There you go. One should pick out something so that we have 1, 2, and 3. I can go down the street and say, this is what we have, this is what we'd like to look at. Give me a quote. Then we know exactly where it's scheduled to go out front. From that point, they can go ahead and pull all the information and come back with a quote to us. Until they know if they're doing a monument sign, a tri-monument, a concrete monument, do they have to make sure everything comes in underneath? Where is it at? Once you guys pick out a sign, this is something that we brought forward to you guys so that you could actually look at these signs, come up with an idea, pick out some demographics so that it's done. As we all know, I mean, Mr. Rossio can sit right here and tell you they went to one sign company. They had to go through and get a permit for the electrical, and it was a third party that did the electrical. It wasn't the same sign company, was it?
I understand that, but we don't have that here.
Did you have that when you did yours, sir?
We got a permit for the township for $475 for the
Right, but-
sign. The electrical, let me finish, please. Electrical was additional, and at this point, we have not got a permit for electrical or put electric to our sign.
And that would be a separate, and the drawings are based off of how the sign was done, am I right? That's how the electrical will be pulled in based on the sign.
It's based off the footage.
Right.
And we do have a bid on electrical underground conduit ran to the sign here of $10,245.
Like I said,
But they didn't meet the other requirement, but they did bid the electrical.
that's the problem. We had, and that's where we know that our sign cost or the electrical cost was going to be anywhere from 8 to 12,000. We knew those numbers kept getting thrown out, and we'd seen that. But the problem was is they didn't hit the other targets, which was saddening for us because we tried very hard. But just as he clearly said, here they have a sign in place that they still don't have the electrical on. Our sign is geared on the electrical because we need that digital sign content.
You've got a foundation going in on this sign. You're going to have to put the electrical in before the foundation is put in.
Absolutely, you're gonna put conduit in prior to that. And you're gonna have an electrical contractor
Okay.
picked before that. You're gonna have it all done, but if we have a sign that is picked, so that you guys have some collaboration of what you're going to do, it makes it a lot easier for us to say, okay, here's the sign, give us a price on the electrical to pull this thing. That won't be so hard. But the problem is getting anybody out here to actually put in these bids.
So what you're saying is, like, for instance, if we decided that Johnson's sign is the one that we like the best,
Then,
we say, this is the one we like the best, get us a quote with what it would cost for the electrical for this sign.
correct.
Can
Now
we do that for two of them if two of them are,
Absolutely. You guys can pick 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. But we
and it's
need,
not approving the fact that that's the sign we're going with?
no, we've clearly said that. It needs to be picked out of what you guys are looking for, so we can then go back and have electrical come out and actually give us these bids, because ABC electrician doesn't do that. We need a real power company. We have to go to somebody with big power to pull off of those primaries. Because you're going to be pulling directly off of the DTE lines. So we have to have some idea of what we're doing, what we're powering. in order to drop that wire.
So your proposal was a little misleading then, because it says scope of work, electrical, provide a code to run electrical from nearest utility pole. And then on the next page, it says electrical will need to be included into your quote.
We've asked each and every one of them to bid that in, and each and every one of them has refused except that one.
So none of these are eligible that's in front of us.
They're eligible as far as hitting everything else, but not that piece. Because none of them will bid on the electrical because they can't give that, they can't get anyone in to give them the quotes. So that's why we went over and over. And literally, if you sat at the desk and listened to this and watched the emails go back and forth, the number of times Ryan has requested this information, you'd be amazed. You know, we have clearly said the electrical needed to be included in the quote. And each and one, as you see them, each one says this is going to be an additional cost.
Could we buy the sign from one of the vendors and have the electrical done by the vendor that gave us the price?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Could we buy the sign from one of the vendors that we like and have the electrical done by the company that gave us the quote?
It's very possible, yes.
And if we pick two and we,
We need some direction of where to go so we can pull in these people and go, this is the type of sign we need to power. This is what we're doing. Can you give us an actual quote now on this? And that's our,
and that doesn't mean that we're
That is
getting the
not-
sign through them.
that's not agreed. You could, so now you could pick, let's say, I don't know, the first two in my hand, you have Phillips and Johnson. Let's say we pick these two designs. That's just the paperwork I grabbed out of my hands. You guys happen to like these two. Now we go back and we pull in three of the big electrical folks and have them give us a quote to pull that power off the primaries, drop it to a meter so that it's got reduction in it. It's not, you know, electric's not my thing. I don't play with electricity. But we would get companies such as people within our own neighborhood, Motor City. Give us a quote. Can you get this down? Can you pull it down to a 120? Can you bury it all the way over? I'm sure they will. They do this every single day. But the sign companies won't guarantee the numbers.
Mark, do we have a site plan for this?
No, Mr. Marino, we do not.
Okay, would a site plan help?
I'm getting bids for
Maybe an
electric.
electrical bid. On a site plan, it's gonna state where the sign is, and you're gonna come up with ways to get electrical to it.
We
Whether
already,
it's coming from the senior center, or it's coming from this building here, or whether it's...
so several things that you're not aware of is you cannot pull from this building without going underground, all the way underneath.
Okay,
The only way we can power this sign in front of this building is off of Gratiot directly. That is it. Community center can't power the sign. You can't cross the driveway underground. You're gonna pull power way too far. That's over 1,000 feet from that side to where this side goes.
that's a matter of wire size, that's all.
Well, let me tell you, wire size will cost us $20,000 to put another generator in because we don't have big enough wire already. But if you'd like to pick out a couple of the opportunities and then we can move forward and get you the numbers and the pricing, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Well, I'll give my opinion. I think that the Johnsons and the Phillips are the best designs out of all of them. So those would be my suggestion, to go get a quote for electrical on those two.
So moving away from the sign at the
Michelle,
road,
which sign are you looking at?
if I may real quick,
Yes.
That one here? This one I like too.
if I may real quick, moving away from the side of the road, The one in the park is more cut and dry. Electrical's already there. Everyone bid it. The firmware used for it has been out of date for over a year. Can't update it anymore. I would like to see us move on that one at least. Every company put in a bid for it separate from the other road sign.
Is that the Johnson proposal for $19,775?
Yeah, that would be Johnson's, I believe. Phillips came in around 24.
21.
21.
I like Johnson's sign and,
No, well, hang on.
This is for that sign.
That sign's
Right.
$24,983.
no, Parks on Johnson's?
Park signage with an electronic message.
Yeah, 24,983.
Third page.
Yep. That's with the 6mm, and then the 10mm was the 19,775.
Oh, well, 10 millimeter is what I believe Phillips had on their quote, was 10.
Phillips is $21,405.62.
Yep.
Right, but what's the mill up at the top? What?
This
Go
one?
down. No. The line below that. What is it?
$21,405.52 with 16.
It's a 10mm pitch.
Okay.
Mid-thumb signs, if you're gonna break it out, is 13,854 for the sign.
I'm sorry, which one?
He said mid-thumb.
Mid-thumb is 13,854, and if you're gonna break it out, they would meet the qualifications for that.
They also included text on that one.
So that would come off.
And the width is. The width is 8 feet.
I don't know if there was dimensions given for that sign. The proposal.
The dimensions are right on the pictures. Is that what you're asking?
The dimensions they give is 2 foot and 1.2 inches by 4 feet and 8.7. That's mid-thumb.
Do we know what the size of the present sign is?
I believe it's actually, I believe Phillips actually quoted that one. Let's see, 2 feet, 2 inches tall by 72 inches wide. Because they're the ones that originally did that sign. So they actually have the original specs for it.
On here it shows 32 inches.
Yeah, I was just reading off what they have right on that one. Actually, I stand corrected on Phillips. In the quote, it says 32 inches tall by 81 wide and 5 deep.
For the one in the back?
Yeah, for the one on the back, that's what Phillips put in their quote.
Phillips quotes also for March 4th this year. Has anybody checked to see if these prices are still?
Yep, we've been in contact with the Phillips representative, that one's still in. Yep. It's pretty on par with the other ones we've received as well. Because there's less work on that one.
Mr. Rossio, we're not hearing you out here, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you might need to move the mic a little closer.
And there's a 5-year warranty with Phillips too,
Correct.
and 1-year lighting warranty.
And I've talked with Brian over at the Village, because they have a Phillips sign, and he said they've been pretty good on getting any problems fixed real quick.
I believe that is the one right at the corner of
Main Street,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from Phillips Sign Company for the second sign in the amount of $21,405.52. The sign in the back.
Ms. Sutherland, you were talking about this one, correct?
The park one.
The park's not
One in
correct.
the back of the
Yeah,
building,
yeah.
well, the front of the building, but in the back of the building.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I'll support that motion. I have a motion by the treasurer, second by the chair. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Reader,
Aye.
Rossio,
Nay.
Gurley,
Aye.
Marino.
Nay.
Right, motion passes for the park sign. What direction do we want to move on with the Gratiot sign?
Ms. Gurley did ask us to get Johnson and Phillips so far.
That's my recommendation. I would like to get a quote for the electrical based on the Johnson sign, which is this one, and the one through Phillips, to get a price from both of them of what they would charge. And then bring it back to the board once we have a price from them. And either make a decision to go with it or not with it.
And just so you're aware, it'll be a third-party vendor putting in the electrical.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So Johnson, Phillips, do we want to add a third one in there? That was-
These other ones
Johnson, we
were,
only have for the park sign, right?
No, Johnson has both.
Or, I mean, excuse me, Phillips, we have for the park sign, right?
Phillips, yeah,
Okay.
Phillips we did.
So Johnson, we are talking, because they've got a couple of renderings here. We are talking about the first rendering,
Yes,
The one out, the one that would be.
the one with the white top on it.
yep.
Right.
So we'd be, yeah, it's that Gratiot sign.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
it does
actually-
match the building very well, and I like the aesthetics of it. I did not care for the other signs.
Yeah,
We were actually
That sign
surprised.
actually looks the best.
yeah.
I was surprised by that one too.
They did a really good job of adding to the building and drawing
Well,
off of that.
and the brick and, I mean, it matches the building versus putting something that has gray brick out front that, you know.
We just have to make sure that you can read it when you're doing 75, don't crash it.
We don't encourage going 75.
This is how it is.
And that's the
It's reality.
reason,
Yes.
that's the reason of the 10 millimeter compared to the 6
So,
and the
matching
demographics
roof.
of that.
All right.
And just a clarity for you guys, as you're looking at this white sign that has the roof like this building, it will not say Lenox Township Community Center on it.
Right. It'll just say Lenox Township.
Just says Lenox Township. It was just one of their renderings, so we don't want any misconception. That sign is not going in front of that other building, that's going here. If you guys so pick that sign, once we get an electrical cost. All right, we will come back with the electrical cost for Johnson, Phillips. That's it?
Phillips will be, they're gonna use the existing electrical out there.
I'm talking about out
The
front.
new sign up, the sign up
We're
front.
talking the Gratiot sign, not the park sign.
You guys already voted on that sign.
Right. They won't need electrical, though, they already.
No.
No, what I'm suggesting is that we get a price for electrical for both of these.
Is there a third?
And Johnson to give us an electrical quote on both of these and then come back to the
Okay,
board.
I guess I don't understand, did you pick out a style or a rendering?
Well, they both have designs that I like, so that would be my choice to find out.
Yeah,
If
see
you
which
guys
one
like
comes
it,
back
and
with.
we can move forward with getting a quote on electrical. Doesn't mean we have to pick one over the other, it's just seeing the prices that they give us for electrical. My favorite sign is Johnson, but to get another quote for another sign, that is, nice too.
My favorite is Phillips, because it's long, it's wide, so it's bigger. It's the biggest, so you can see it.
All right,
So, do you see the two, Mr. Marino, that she's, okay.
I have them right
I
here.
just want to make sure, these are the two you guys are talking about, getting the quotes for electrical.
I have one additional question. Being we're in the process of becoming a charter township, should we have that on the sign so it's not obsolete before it's put up?
it really doesn't matter to have Charter Township on the sign. I see quite a few that still just have, so Clinton Township, what their sign is, it just still says Clinton Township.
But I think if you go to the website, it says charter.
Yeah, like, websites are easy to just put up on there.
So once you're a charter township, you're gonna be a charter
Yeah,
township.
you're still a Charter Township, but you're still the
I
township.
understand, but if it says that on the sign, the charter township isn't gonna go away, is it? Once you're in that status?
We could have them draw quotes for that too.
I would think that would only be,
Mhm.
a good thing to do at the same time.
Yeah,
You know, buying the sign.
We
What's
could.
that, it stays the correct name of the township or charter?
yeah, that shouldn't change much of the quote at all.
No, I mean, are you, Mr. Ressil, are you asking us to do that also on
Yeah,
the
he's-
park sign prior?
I don't think the park sign says, it just says community center in the park, so we don't have to worry about that one.
And are you talking, let me just ask a question for clarification. Are you talking about the logo itself?
No, he's talking, I believe,
The
the Gratiot
front
sign.
sign.
Yeah, the
Right.
front
The
sign,
front
where it
sign.
says Lenox
Where it
Township.
says Lenox Township Community Center, where you said it's just gonna say Lenox Township, he's talking about that area, right? Saying
Correct.
charter.
Okay.
Charter township of Lenox.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just asking for clarification because sometimes the logos actually say Charter Township of Lenox.
Some do, some
Or-
don't.
Right. That's why you really don't need to change it,
Well,
but
they keep Chesterfield
we'll get the
does.
numbers, that's fine.
However you want to do it, just so it's identified as a
Yeah.
charter township,
Okay.
which it's going to be.
Right.
Okay.
We'll get those.
All right,
Well, then I will make a motion that we get electrical quotes from Johnson Sign Company and Phillips Sign Company for the front sign out by Gratiot, so that we can discuss it at the next board meeting. in December, if they have it to us by then.
I'm hoping that we can get a couple of the bigger companies to actually do that for us.
I'll support that
Well,
motion.
we can contact an electrical company, right?
Yeah, that'd be,
Too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We might have one here this evening we're gonna put on the hook and ask for a price.
all right. I have a motion by the clerk, supported by the chair. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Gurley,
Aye.
Reader,
Aye.
Sutherland, Marino,
Aye.
Rossio.
Aye. All right, moving on. Item B, 2025 holiday closure office proposal. Madam Treasurer?
What do you want me to say? Motion to pass the 2025 holiday office closure proposal.
We
The
should probably
29th and 30th.
if you want to bring that up.
Oh, I guess, no. Because we're getting BSNA, we have plans, started on today that BSNA did a preliminary extraction, and then we have another one, November 21st, another extraction where they're pulling our information from BSNA to the cloud. And then we have another one December 9th, another one December 18th, and then it moves on to the 29th and 30th, actually, where we can't be on our computers that day. So it actually works out that the employees can't be on their computers anyway, so with that being said, it's a mandatory stay home.
Yeah, so.
They can't even work. So the 29th and 30th, which is what we originally proposed in the first place for Christmas, I mean, they kind of have to be home anyways. They can't be here.
So I can clarify some things. Building department and assessing rely heavily on BSNA to do their work in office. When BSNA is down, they will not be able to do their work whatsoever. That's the problem.
No cash receipting, nothing.
You can't even process taxes.
No, we can't. No water bills, no cash receipting whatsoever, which is the entire treasury department. That's so that they can't work either. So I propose that we stick with our original motion to stay closed on the 29th and 30th during Christmas, between Christmas and New Year.
And that would be, the staff is paid for the 29th and 30th?
Yes.
I will second the motion to be closed on the 29th and 30th, and with staff to be paid for those 2 days.
I have a motion by Treasurer Sutherland, supported by Clerk Gurley. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Rossio,
Nay.
Reader,
Aye.
Marino.
Nay.
All right. Moving on to item 10, new business, Motor City Electric waiver request. I believe we have the petitioner here.
I'm Derek Ferguson with Motor City Electric Utilities at 60300 Gratiot Avenue. We're asking for a variance for not installing the concrete sidewalk until at such time one of the neighbors was to develop the property on either the north or south side of us.
Steve, is there anything submitted for any of the plans from the north or south?
I'm not aware of any plans that have been submitted to the north or south of their site at this time.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the waiver request from Motor City Electric Company, parcel number 19-06 27-200-024-60300 Gratiot Avenue.
I second that.
I have a motion by the chair, supported by Treasurer Sutherland. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Reader,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Marino,
Aye.
Gurley,
Nay.
Rossio.
Nay.
All right, item passes. Moving on to item B. DPW public placement and rodent protection proposal. Mr. Trombley.
Yes, good evening. Some of you may have received an email about this earlier in the month. During our last inspection for this stormwater station that we have down at the Fire EMS and DPW complex, one of the pumps is basically wore out, it's end of life. It was inoperable. So it came to you about getting a replacement pump to replace the. Currently, there's two pumps in there that work alternately, and one is kind of like a backup. Time of year, so forth. I mean, it's something that we really can't hold off on because we're getting into the wet season. Jet Pump, the pump that is the company that we've had maintaining these pumps since the station was installed approximately 20 years ago. That's how old these pumps are. So I really wasn't surprised that they were telling me it's the end of life. Because it's an outdoor exposed stormwater, and we have muskrat problems and so forth, thus the need for the rodent protection as well. So they did submit a quote to us to replace the pump as well as install the rodent guard for the electrical at a grand total of $10,587.90.
The only question I have is how long is this warranty for the pump? You know, it doesn't say it.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know exactly. I know they've stood behind other products in the past, and I'm sure if we have an issue in short order, and especially if it's a manufacturing problem, that they're gonna take care of it. Again, we've used this company for over 20 years, and they've served us well thus far. So I feel confident in their abilities and doing business with them.
Well, this is definitely something that we need. So I would like to make a motion that we approve the purchase from Jet Pump for a grand total of $10,587.90.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion by Trustee Marino, seconded by Trustee Rosio. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Marino,
Aye.
Rossio,
Aye.
Reader,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Sutherland.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Moving on to item C, DPW full-time assistance hire request. Mr. Trump.
So as most of you are aware, earlier this year, we did lose one of our full-time personnel. We've been running with one full-time, one seasonal person, plus myself, since that time. We did conduct some interviews last week with 3 individuals that have applied for the open position. One being our current seasonal person. Looking at the future, what's coming with the expansion of not only the park, but some of the other properties and duties that we take care of on a day-to-day basis. I would actually like to request hiring 2 full-time persons at this time. One being our current seasonal person, and then one additional from the interviews that we conducted last week. So at this time, I would ask that we move Mr. Scott Lent from seasonal to full-time with a 90-day probationary period, as well as passing background and physical requirements. And then Mr. Clifton Morgan III, same 90-day probation, background check, physical, and so forth.
And the pay.
As far as the pay, You know, we've had some discussion about that. I didn't really include it in this, but it is worthy that we discuss it. I would like to have these gentlemen start at $18 an hour, at the end of the probationary period, be moved up to $20 an hour, which is consistent with other areas, departments like myself. We actually struggle to get applicants to retain people because we're below scale compared to the other departments in the area.
Yeah, we definitely need to be competitive with surrounding communities. I will motion to approve the hiring of 2 full-time DPW assistants on a 90-day probationary period at the hourly rate of $18 an hour, and then $20 an hour after the 90-day probationary period at the recommendation of the EPW superintendent.
A second.
I have a motion by the chair, supported by trustee Marino. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Reader,
Aye.
Marino,
Aye.
Rossio,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Gurley.
Aye.
All right, moving on. Item D, Gene Waterloo Library Snow Removal Proposal. Mr. Tremblay.
Once again, we received a request from the head librarian at the New Haven Library, the Lenox Township Library, to perform snow removal as well as grass cutting for the 25-26 season. It would be under the same parameters that we've done all these years with them. They understand that we need to get our properties and fire stations and so forth done first, but we would get to them in a timely manner to clear their snow and cut their grass as well. I see no need to increase the cost at $2,700 a year for both services.
For the library and the house next door, right?
Yeah, they did include the house
Yes.
next door. They're more worried about just the city sidewalk as far as snow removal.
Yeah.
And as far as doing the grass, I mean, it takes us a few extra minutes to do that house since we're already there with the equipment we have. It's really not a burden. If they're gonna require anything more extensive than what we've been doing, then we would need to revisit, cost because of man hours involved.
I'll make a motion to approve the snow removal and grass cutting proposal for the Gene Waterloo Library at the cost of $2,700 per season, as recommended by the DPW superintendent.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Sutherland, supported by Clerk Gurley. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Rossio,
Aye.
Reader,
Aye.
Marino.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Moving down to item E, High Tech Centaurus Microsoft Office 365 licensing renewal. Mr. Grable.
All right, good evening, board. This is a two-part section on this. This is a request for our annual 365 renewal and the upgrade to our .gov for security. With that in front of you this evening, you have a full recommendation from Centaurus/High Tech between the 2025 Microsoft 365 annual renewal excuse me, and the Microsoft Office 365 migration services, along with labor, time, and material. You're looking at a total of $2,139 complete. We've asked them to break out the hourly maintenance, the hourly labor and add it to this proposal, so it was not part of our time blocks. The 2025 Microsoft 360 annual renewal is something we go through constantly for our 365 operations under Microsoft. The .gov is Microsoft Office 365 migration services. That was $2,665. The 365 licensing renewal is $10,224. The estimated labor was $7,250. That comes out to your total of $2,139.
So all our emails will be .gov instead of .org from now on?
That is correct.
For
That
security
is
purposes?
Security moving up to enhance our system. It also is very clear and recognizable as we work throughout our government operations. It's clear that .gov is a secure program for us. And that'll move our migration over. It'll take, well, they're estimating, what was it, Anthony, 50 hours?
Yeah,
But
I
that's
talked to Jay
total.
and he said that's obviously on the high end, but they just want to make sure they cover their bases on this one.
Correct. But this is our annual, part of this is our annual renewal just for the 365. The Microsoft Office licensing alone, it was the 10,224.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the quote from Centaurus for the Microsoft 365 licensing renewal at a cost of $20,139.
I will second.
I have a motion from the chair, supported by Clerk Gurley. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Reader,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Rossio,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Marino.
Aye.
All right, moving down to item F, Planning Commission vacant seat nomination. Given that Mr. Walker resigned from the Planning Commission, I submitted the nomination for Mr. Olu Jabari of Lenox Township for the vacant seat. Was a term expiring on December 31st, 2027. I believe the nominee is here in the audience if he would like to go up to the podium and say anything.
Good evening. My name is Olu Jabari. I currently live in Lenox Township. Been here for a little while. I currently work as the Director of Outreach for the City of Warren. I'm the mayor's staff as an appointee. Had a chance to be involved in some planning things on the commission. Assisted in setting up 31 commissions in the City of Warren, and also setting on infrastructure of new housing for the City of Warren in the last 6 months. Helped to deal with the infrastructure of that, the planning, the advisory, and also had a chance to just sit in and understand some of the things that planning does. I'm very interested on what we do in Lenox Township in regards to land usage and community development. So I think this is a perfect fit for me. I'm willing to volunteer my time, and I'm willing to look, listen, and learn as we grow in the city of Lenox. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the nomination of Olu Jabari to fill the vacant seat on the Planning Commission with the term ending 12/31/2027 on the recommendation of the supervisor.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Sutherland, supported by Clerk Gurley. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Marino,
Aye.
Reader,
Aye.
Rossio.
Aye.
All right. Moving down to item G, Parks and Recreation Holiday Light Trolley Tour Proposal. So this is something we've done for the past few years. This went to the Parks and Recreation Committee. They came back with their recommendation for Brentwood's DET for the price of $2,554.20. The ticket price recommended is $25 per person, with also us putting 4 tickets into the raffle for the Lenox Stadium Community Dinner. I will say that one was actually quite a popular raffle item last year.
Anthony, how many people can go on this?
30.
30?
And how much are we subsidizing each ticket?
So each ticket believe for the group price right now is 17, and then you add 14 onto the lanyard, so we're not subsidizing very much.
Well, it seems to me that we're subsidizing almost $60 a ticket. If you take the $2,540.20 and divide it by 30, you'll get the...
That's that's including transportation.
Well, we're gonna need to include transportation for the ticket, right?
But
So we're subsidizing all of the transportation and some of the ticket, is what you're trying to say.
correct, this is a Parks and Rec event that we've done for the past 3 years, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yeah, I think 3 years.
Yeah.
And
Residents love it, it sells out real quick.
And I think it's only limited to Lenox Township residents.
Yeah, Lenox and the Village of New Haven, yes.
So, okay.
If there's no further discussion, I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 Parks and Recreation Holiday Light Trolley Tour at the cost of $2,554.20, with the ticket price set at $25 per person for the trip. 4 tickets will be set aside for the raffle for the Lenox New Haven Community Dinner as recommended by the Parks and Rec Committee.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by the chair, supported by Treasurer Sutherland. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Reader,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Marino,
no,
Gurley,
Aye.
Rossio.
Nay.
All right, motion passes. Moving on to item G, 2026 Lenox Township calendar.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 Lenox Township calendar as presented. 2026 Lenox Township calendar as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Treasurer Sutherland, supported by Clerk Gurley. May the deputy clerk please call the roll.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Gurley,
Aye.
Rossio,
Aye.
Marino,
aye.
Reader.
Aye. All right. Moving down, public comment, if anyone wishes.
I just wanted to add one quick thing. Mr. Marino, you asked about the warranty on the pump. I quickly looked it up. It comes with a standard 3-year warranty from the manufacturer. Thank you.
Good evening. Dennis Haig, 3940 County Line. You're putting some new signage in, and one of the things is your signage, the standards are going to GHS standards worldwide. And so if you're putting something new in, that's a good opportunity to put it to that standard. Eventually, we'll all be forced to go to that, but you know, it might save the township some money in the long run. And when you get done, wherever you're going to put the sign out front here, I'd highly recommend we put some bollards or something else for protection of it. I know at my location on County Line, I'm up to 3 telephone poles, 1 drainage conduit, part of an earth berm, and a few other things from these speeding drivers that can't seem to keep it on the road. So it would be probably a good investment to include that with whatever we're putting in. If we're putting in something nice, someone's going to try and plow it. I guarantee it. That's it.
Public comment.
Hello, Board. Janet Hardway. I think, Ms. Marino, you were asking who's going to be in control of the marquee for the sign?
Correct.
And that it was said the supervisor was going to be in control. I don't know how those work. Do they get typed out, the messages get typed out somewhere, and they go to the sign? So I don't know if that's the supervisor's job, or will be. And that's what you were questioning, I believe. And when you guys, when this was a brand new board in January, and you all came in and you voted for this seal, I hate this seal. It does not depict Lenox Township, but you all agreed to do it. And I believe the supervisor already had that seal on his jacket in his last term. But without questioning or asking anybody in the township about changing the seal, you all agreed. So now we're going to have a sign with those seals on it. Wonderful. But I do like the idea of a sign. Thank you.
Linda Resio, 25589 26 Mile Road. On the issue of the trolley, is there bids that should be put out for that? And a few months ago, or a few months back, I was asked to recuse myself over storage containers because we sell them at our family business. Who owns Brentwood? Should he be able to do that to profit if there's not been other bids put out for this trolley excursion? And once before I had said, as members, and me being a member of the Planning Commission, I feel it's your duty when it comes call from the table or call from the board, that you answer some of the questions that us citizens have up here. Thank you.
Public comment. All right, moving on to call from the board.
Okay, I will answer Ms. Rosile on that. Actually, in our little packet here for the trolley, there is Golden Limousine as a quote, there's Golden Trolley, and there's Brentwood. So we did have 3 quotes attached with our...
We didn't know that out here.
Okay.
And I will also say that Mr. Grabo's ownership of Brentwood was also disclosed to the Parks and Recreation Committee, as I'm sure your brother-in-law can attest to, as he was in attendance to the meeting.
I don't discuss business outside because there's disclaimers on our sheets that say we're not supposed to.
All right. Moving on to the...
Well, I've got one call to the board. There's a concern that I have right now with our planning commission. 7 of the last 10 meetings have been canceled due to lack of business. I'm a little concerned with this, as is this something that we're doing wrong, or is this something that we're not promoting properly to move us forward? Our planning commission and their work is a barometer of the growth of our township. So I'm a little concerned, and I'm wondering, can we start exploring possible ways to enhance this a little bit, so that our planning commission doesn't sit around and do nothing, that we actually give them something to work on.
I see that there was 4 planning commission meetings in 2025, May, June, July, and August.
There's also January, February, March, and April.
Oh, they were all canceled?
No, those were not canceled. The canceled ones were October, July, and June.
I counted 7 of them.
Don't know where you're getting the 7 number. I had.
Do you know Steve offhand? I don't.
I'm looking right here got minutes for January, February, March, April. I have agendas for May, July as well, and October. Sorry, not July, just October. So I don't know where you got the 7 number from.
So how many were canceled?
You have June, July, and October. So 3 this year.
3.
3.
That counts up, because I did not.
So I don't know, like I said, I don't know where you got that
Any
7 number
minutes,
from.
I looked up the minutes, you know,
Yeah, the minutes might not have been posted, but the agendas are there.
well, like I say, if there is something that we could possibly do, maybe we should consult our planner as to what steps we can move forward with.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Cassidy.
I'm looking at my calendar, and it looks like up to date, we've had 7 meetings to
Yeah.
date.
That's what I was saying, there's only been 3. that have
Right,
been
we missed
canceled.
3, correct.
All right, hearing no further. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:51.
Second.
I have a motion by the chair, supported by Clerk Curley. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned.